You're watching NC TV 45, and this is Focus NC. And my guest is Larry Corvey, who's the Executive Director of New Visions of Newcastle, and also the President of the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce. And we continue with culture. Let's talk about culture, Larry, because Newcastle and the surrounding areas have a wide diversity of churches. There's the Hoyt Center. There's the historic architecture. What about the Historical Society as well? I mean, I can go on and on and on, so you get the idea. How do you think we can bring more people into Newcastle and vicinity by our culture?
Well, Gary, I think you make a great point. We do have a lot of ethnicity, particularly in Newcastle per se. One of the things the New Visions is working on is to capitalize on that. And for instance, we're working with the Fireworks Committee and the Hoyt, and we're somewhat changing the Fireworks Festival, which is July 11th and 12th this year. First of all, it'll be the main event will take place downtown. The fireworks will still go off on the Columbus Circle there, but itself, what we're planning downtown is to have ethnic foods from the various ethnic groups that make up Newcastle served downtown on East Washington Street. We think capitalizing on that, like you said, will bring people who are from Newcastle downtown, will bring people from the county downtown, and hopefully from nearby counties. In order to do all that, though, it's not an easy thing to do. We checked into how we would do that, and you have to have electricity for the food vendors downtown. Downtown is not wired currently to allow that to happen. So we're working with First Energy and Bruce and Marilee on installing at least 5 permanent electrical panels downtown along East Washington Street. So we will have the wiring in place for all those servers. And again, I think that would be one way to start capitalizing on the ethnicity here, would be through food and how they prepare it in their own fashion. And again, we've got some outstanding restaurants, we've got some outstanding food with those very ethnic groups, and we think that would be one way to begin the process.
I just wanted you to touch a little bit on the strategic location of Newcastle.
Well, again, they say in real estate is location, 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 and I think Newcastle has that going for it. You know, we've got Interstate 80 just to the north, you have 376, we're close to the Turnpike, we're close to 79, there's all kind of access. What I like about our location, besides the interstates, I mean, they're easy access, so you can get anywhere. You can get to the airport in 45 minutes or less, and it's a straight shot. But also, we lie between 2 major metropolitan areas. So I think we need to start thinking when we market Newcastle, not only marketing it for the local folks, we could attract people from greater Pittsburgh and greater Cleveland to come to Newcastle to enjoy the ethnic foods, the festivals, the fairs, the things that we put on here. And I think we're somewhat missing the mark in that area. But I think the location is terrific, and it allows us, I think, to have a much broader market than just Lawrence County per se.
I want to talk a little bit about population. There's been a decline, just a little decline, in Lawrence County as a whole, right. Only by a little more than 400 people, 433 to be exact. We lost from 2012 to 2013. But there's been an increase in population in Newcastle City proper. And the numbers actually, the numbers are 5,000. We've grown by 5,000 people over the last several years. Well, I think it was really from the last census till now, so about 5,000. So we're at we went from 18. I don't want to dwell on numbers, but I think it's important to say we went from about 18.5 up to about 23.5, right in that vicinity. So I'm just saying that's got to be a good sign.
Right. Well, I wasn't aware that the city grew, but I know the county had lost overall. What New Visions is focusing on is create a better quality of life, so that we do start to show population growth both in the city and the county. I mean, you just can't forever lose population. It's going to be a dwindling number of taxpayers left to support, a massive community. So we do have to turn it around eventually. And that's, again, what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it so, for instance, the city of Newcastle has an attractive downtown. That's where we're starting. That might attract young folks. That might keep young folks in our community. That might attract people from or out of town to say, hey, that's a neat place to live. We think the Newcastle in Lawrence County can definitely be marketed so that the population decline starts to jump, it starts to go up. And to bring in jobs and that type of thing, again, we think we're poised to show some job growth here, which could end up bringing some people to our county. You have the Marcellus Shale projects going on, and that's really just underway in Lawrence County. It's been more to the southwest, but we're starting to see some of that here. There are jobs that are coming with that. The Digital Manufacturing Center, which is 3D printing, is based in Youngstown, which is only 17 miles downtown to downtown. That's the new wave of manufacturing. We think we could capitalize on that as a way to get job growth in the area too.
You mentioned Marcellus Shale, and I was going to ask you a question about that. Will New Visions bring that up at some meetings?
Well, again, it's really not an issue that would be on our radar, so to speak. We're not a political group. We're not going to take a position one way or another, pro or con on it. If people want to get involved with it, that's up to them. But that issue would not be something we would be focusing on. Again, we do see benefits. In our minds, the benefits would be some jobs, some money coming back to landowners in the area, and it would be our hope that all that happens and the environment is protected at the same time. Because one of our action teams does focus on the local environment, and that's important to us too. But we think both things could happen at the same time. You see some economic development, you protect the environment.
Well, you touched a little bit on being green, New Visions being green, and worried about the environment. Well, you had something at Gaston Park. You want to tell us real quick about that? How did it go, and will there be something like that in the near future?
We've had a number of what we call cleanups, and Gaston Park has been a site of at least a couple cleanups. There will be more. Matter of fact, there's a cleanup this Saturday downtown, from 10 to 12 downtown. If people are interested, they just need to show up at Washington Square, right where we're having this meeting here today. We're going to meet at 10 o'clock. We'll finish by 12. So we do have various cleanups, and it does come under our Clean and Green action team. So, yes, people can get involved.
Well, Larry, thank you for being with us today. And before we leave, everybody, why don't you tell them how they can get a hold of you and New Visions?
Well, the best way to reach me would be, again, my cell phone. It's always with me. It's 724-614-0253. They might want to also leave a message at the conference. We have a number of meetings there, and that would be another way to reach me there. And again, I'm officing right now temporarily at Cray, which is 332 Highland. But again, look for us downtown on North Mercer Street. Don't have the exact address, but it's right across the street from Hazel's on North Mercer, and we should be there within the next month or so.
Well, thank you, Larry Corvey. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Good luck with New Visions, and everybody keep listening and watching NC TV 45 at another edition of Focus NC.